Alright guys, welcome back to another video. So guys, today get ready for a top 10 that will be controversial, but what is a top 10 list without controversy? We have the top 10 players in the NBA right now. Right after the All-Star break, we have about 20 games left in the season. And at this point, guys, this is a list I have struggled with for a while. Just like Stephen A. Smith says, the list is fluid. It's been changing. It almost on the daily, it's been changing for me. So definitely this will be hotly debated, possibly controversial. No, definitely controversial. But these are just my top 10 players in the NBA right now. Like I said, it could change a lot. You could argue positioning for a lot of these players. Make sure to comment your opinions because of all of that. But without further ado, guys, here are my top 10 players in the NBA right now. So we're going to start off at number 10 with Kawhi Leonard. Now, Kawhi Leonard, when healthy, easily a top 10 player. I don't think he's 100% back. I think he needs to be back for a little bit longer, keep playing like he's been playing for a little bit longer, but possibly by the end of the season, and we'll see what happens in the playoffs. He could move up this list, but Kawhi Leonard, you can see his numbers. I have everyone's numbers on this list, guys, just to show you statistically what they're doing. He's just been doing his thing, especially recently. Still a great two-way player. Not as good of a defender as maybe the defensive player of the year he was 2 times a few years ago, but still a great two-way player. And he's playing some of the best offensive basketball of his career. He's shooting over 40% from 3, super efficient, really smart player, and obviously all around a great player. So next, at number 9, we have Anthony Davis. Now, AD is so weird because he moves up and down the list all the time. Earlier this year, when he was just absolutely balling out before he got hurt, I was thinking he might be a top 3 player in the NBA. Some nights he does look like a top 3 player. Some nights he looks like the best player in the NBA. And then he'll get hurt for a long period of time. Sometimes he'll be a little too passive. So I don't know. We're just going to find some middle ground and put him in the top 10. Put him at number 9. Obviously, he's an amazing two-way player. Such a great defensive player. Leading the league in rebounds. 26 and 12 just about. And then the peripherals, the defensive numbers are amazing. Over a steal per game for a big guy. 2 blocks per game. Amazing rim protector. Amazing two-way player. And when healthy and he has number 1 player in the league potential. When healthy, he's one of the best. He's in that conversation, I think. I'm going to put him at number 9. Number 8, we go back-to-back with the Lakers. LeBron, I still think right now is a little bit better than AD. I put him at number 8. LeBron, obviously, for years was the best player in the NBA. Not quite there anymore because he's not as durable as he once was, ironically or coincidentally, as I'm making this video. Literally a few minutes before I start filming, we get the news that LeBron might be out indefinitely with his foot injury, and let's put him at 8 because he's not as healthy as he used to be, and he doesn't play as great of defense as he used to, but this is still LeBron James. And at 38 years old, to still be a top 8 player and average 29.5 points per game, and the tons of rebounds and assists he gets, and shooting over 50%, and 75.9% from the free throw line's pretty good for LeBron. So LeBron's at number 8 for me. Number 7, Jayson Tatum. Jayson Tatum, super reliable. I mean, maybe the best closer, one of the best closers in the game, one of the best shot creators. I think he's one of them. I think after KD, he might be the most complete offensive player in the game. Celtics playing great this year. Jayson Tatum having his best career season, over 30 points per game. And the Celtics are definitely a contender right at the top of the Eastern Conference. They're at the top right now, I believe, fighting with the Bucks. And they kind of go back and forth a little bit. And yeah, Celtics contenders, Jayson Tatum, pretty solid defender, great offensive player, has the total offensive package, and firmly in the MVP conversation, I think, getting to the finals last year and being only 24, I think he's going to keep getting better. So he's a top 7 player, in my opinion. Number 6, Luka. Now, some people might have Luka a little bit higher. I might have earlier this year. It's just, I keep going back and forth with a lot of these players. Ultimately, Luka lands at number 6 because, well, first of all, let's talk about what he does right. 33 points, almost 9 rebounds, 8 assists, stat stuffer. I mean, kind of the European Larry Bird slash LeBron. I mean, he'll do a little bit of everything on the stat sheet. A steal and a half per game. Finds a way to shoot over 50% as a point guard. But the one thing is, I can't put him ahead of 6 because of the defensive liability that he is, unfortunately. And also the shooting numbers are not great. 35% from 3 is okay. He's just an average three-point shooter, in my opinion. Great shot creator, but just an average three-point shooter. And the free throw shooting has to get better. And like I just said a second ago, the main reason is the defense. So the complete game's not there. But obviously, Luka is absolutely great and phenomenal. And no doubt a top 10 player. But you can argue top 5, right around that area, I think. But now we are officially in the top 5. At number 5, Steph Curry. Now, I know Steph Curry's hurt, but it's Steph Curry, the 4-time champ, the greatest shooter of all time, and a guy who's still absolutely incredible when he plays. This season, over 29 points per game. All of a sudden, his rebounds jumped up to 6, over 6 this season. He'll get a steal per game and shoots. He's almost part of the 50-40-90 club, which is crazy. The amount of volume on his threes to still shoot 42.7% and then 92% from free throw. Just amazing, beautiful shooting numbers, and it's Steph Curry. Do I need to elaborate further? We move on. Number 4, Joel Embiid. He has moved up my list this season. I thought he was a top 10 player coming into this year. I would have probably had him in the last couple there, maybe like 10-9, maybe 8, but he's had his best season, 33 points per game. The Sixers are rolling right now. MVP, or Joel Embiid's in the MVP conversation. Over 10 rebounds per game, and great defender, great two-way player, rim protector. Over a steal per game for a center. That's great. 1.6 blocks, shooting over 50%. He's a decent three-point shooter too. I mean, he won't shoot too many. I'm glad he doesn't. He doesn't really belong out there shooting threes, but you also can't completely back off of him. And I think maybe the most impressive stat to me about Joel Embiid is that he shoots 85.8% from the free throw line. And if you just look at this guy's free throw numbers, the amount of volume he gets per game, he's shooting, I think, almost around 12 free throws a game and making over 10, which is a crazy high amount. And to make almost 86% as a center, that's extremely impressive. So Joel Embiid has made it into the top 4 with this incredible season that he has had. We are now in the top 3. Who cracks the top 3, guys? Number 3, KD. Yeah, the Phoenix Sun. He hasn't played with the Suns yet, but it doesn't really matter because I was just talking about Jayson Tatum maybe being in the discussion for the best offensive player, but I think KD is the best offensive player. I think he might be the most difficult to guard offensive player in NBA history because obviously with the size and the fact that he can score in every way imaginable. I mean, 30 points per game. This year, he was just absolutely incredible before he got hurt. He was an MVP candidate. He was kind of carrying the Nets before he got traded, obviously. But here he is averaging right around 30 points per game, close to 7 rebounds, 5 assists as well. And this is what KD doesn't get credit for. He's actually a really solid defender. 1.5 blocks per game as a forward. I mean, that's awesome. And then with the amount of volume he gets, the fact that he can shoot from the outside and inside to shoot 56% from the field is awesome. 37.6% from 3 is very good as well, and 93% from the free throw line. I mean, you can't guard this guy. There really isn't a way to stop him because he can do everything on offense, and he's an underrated defender in my opinion. Some people think KD's the best player in the league. Not quite, just because he does get injured a little bit, and there's 2 better players, I think, right now. So who is the runner-up? I got to give some respect to Nikola Jokic. The man's probably going to win his 3rd straight MVP, and it's time we give him the credit he deserves. This year, he's averaging a triple-double. We knew that it was possible with him. The assist numbers, the all-around numbers just seemingly keep going up every single season. Look at those beautiful numbers. I mean, incredible. If you round it up, 25, 12, and 10 a game. Over 1.3 steals as a center. That's pretty awesome, too. 63% from the field. Almost 40% from 3 and 82% from free throws. So his efficiency is incredible. His stat stuffing is incredible. And yes, he's not a great defender, but he's also not a terrible defender either. He can hold his own a little bit. He's not a complete pushover on defense. But I mean, this guy is... I think he's the most valuable to any team right now. And look at the Nuggets. They are the #1 seed, and I think he really does deserve that third straight MVP. And because the Nuggets are finally kind of a top-seeded team, I think he's convinced me. I think Jokic, for a while, I thought Luka was better. I thought maybe Jokic was top 6, 7. Maybe coming into this year, I would have said that. But Jokic, he has convinced me. He has moved way up, all the way to the #2 spot. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, I don't think he's the best player in the NBA, because I think the best player in the NBA is, of course, Giannis Antetokounmpo. I mean, he was missing from this list, so you probably knew he was #1 if I hadn't talked about him already. But look, Giannis, he just keeps doing what he's doing. A walking 30-point, 12-rebound, 5 assists per game machine. That's basically what he's been averaging the last 5 seasons. The steals and blocks aren't as high as they normally are. He usually gets over a steal and over a block per game, but that doesn't matter because Giannis is still an incredible defensive player. He might be a top 3-4 defensive player in the league. He's won Defensive Player of the Year. I don't like the 3-point percentage or the free throw percentage, but that's the one weakness in Giannis's game. We just kind of all have to accept that. I guess there's no such thing as a flawless, perfect player, but still 54% from the field almost, and just extremely dominant. And he's won a championship, so he's proven himself. 2 MVPs. Giannis, I think, is the best player in the NBA, and he's right in his prime at age 28. And I think until someone behind him wins a championship, maybe Jokic, or until I'm proven otherwise, I don't know how and when that'll be. I think Giannis is the best player in the NBA. It's his time. He's right in his prime, like I just said. This is the time where Giannis is the best player in the NBA. So guys, that is my top 10 NBA players right now list. Make sure to comment your opinions. Like I said, this was tough, guys. I contemplated this for a couple days, and this was my ultimate verdict. But you know what? This isn't set in stone. Again, the list is fluid. So make sure to comment your opinions. Maybe you'll change my mind. Comment your top 10. I'd love to hear it. So that's going to bring us to the end of this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, as always. And I'll see you all in the next one.